From News on 6, this is breaking news.
It is 10:32 and we have breaking news for you. A police chase is happening right now, Highway 412 westbound. Let's go live to Osage Sky News 6, and we see Sand Springs police pursuing what looks like a Suburban or some sort of SUV down Highway 412. They just passed 209th West Avenue rather, and they're continuing to go west. We've seen several points already. This SUV acting like it's getting off on an exit and then quickly speeding back onto the highway, and it fooled at least one law enforcement officer who had to continue going on the exit ramp. So we're seeing vehicles get out of the way. Dustin Stone, our pilot, is up in the air. I'll let you know when we're able to talk to Dustin. Are we able to talk to Dustin right now? Yeah, Dustin. Okay, so this is Dave Davis here. What are you seeing? Where exactly are we right now?
Actually, I don't have a good mix minus guys in the control room, but we are westbound on 412. We're not moving at a very fast speed right now, probably about 70 miles an hour, 75. We're just about to cross over the lake. We're about to come over here on the west bank of the lake. Like I said, OHP is here, and looks like Sand Springs still falling behind OHP, Dave.
Okay, so at this point, it looks like this vehicle has been going. We don't know how exactly this started, but Dustin, it looks like some vehicles are getting out of the way. Does it look like the traffic has pretty much been able to clear this here?
Yeah, it looks like the traffic is not too bad. There's a few vehicles, like 3 or 4 up ahead right now. They're all in the right lane, and they're scooting over for the flashing lights that are coming up behind them. It looks like I said, we're not moving at a very fast pace through here, but the traffic is fairly light, and OHP's right there behind them, keeping them in pretty close. And it looks like you can see there they're swerving back and forth because OHP may be trying to move in to end this pursuit, and that vehicle is not letting them get in position to do that, Dave.
Old Keystone Road exit coming up here again, as Dustin Stone is mentioning. Our pilot OHP, the Highway Patrol, now getting involved in this. We do know that it started off with Sand Springs Police, and we were able to see Sand Springs police officers, but it looks like OHP cruiser, at least one there, multiple law enforcement vehicles following close behind this SUV on 412 westbound. This is again heading out of Tulsa, heading out of town. We just saw them pass the Old Keystone Road exit, or coming up to the Old Keystone Road exit and going past the west bank of the Keystone Lake. Now we are being told that this is a near 90 miles an hour, 70, 75 miles an hour, now up to 90. And here looks like Dustin maybe going to try to do one of those, what they call a TVI, a tactical vehicle intervention, something like that. Is that what you're seeing here?
Yeah, that's right, Dave. It looks like they're trying to get in position to do a pit or to stop this vehicle, but that you can see there, every time that trooper tries to get in position, that vehicle swerves in front of them. And we've now we're in some rain, so the roads, it's not pouring rain, but that's going to add another element to the traffic going too fast if the roads start getting too wet out here.
That's a great point. With the rain coming down, the rain, of course, has been very heavy in some areas. Pryor got 5 inches over the weekend, so the rain has been off and on all weekend long, and it's continued into Monday. So now as we continue on Highway 412 westbound, what you're seeing is a highway patrol trooper tailing this SUV and trying to, it appears, end this chase, and there it is. There's the vehicle maneuver spinning, and this chase is over, it appears. Let's see what happens as this, at least one person we expect to get out. Nope, they're driving. They're going to keep going.
Officer has his gun drawn.
Officer has a gun drawn.
He is pushing that Sand Springs police vehicle. Now he's going the wrong direction.
Were you all able to see that? There was a shot fired. Were you able to see that? Okay. Well, now we're going eastbound in the westbound lanes, and this is even more dangerous. This SUV was pitted, or the vehicle maneuver spun them around the OHP vehicle.
There are no officers behind this vehicle, so he is going into oncoming traffic without any flashing lights behind him, Dave.
Oh goodness, and these cars are trying to get out of the way. This is really, really not good. Of course, it wasn't good before when you're going westbound at an estimated 90 miles an hour, but now you're going eastbound in the westbound, just missing a semi there. Hang with us. The signal obviously a bit choppy because of some weather and all that, but hang with us here on Channel 6 as we're following this police chase going in the wrong direction. This person is going eastbound in the westbound lanes, now turning around into the culvert, going westbound once again on a frontage road, and now we're turning off into side streets. So I guess at least at this point, Dustin, not going the wrong way on a highway, but that is dangerous.
Yeah, that's the only positive about this right now at the moment, Dave. This is fairly wooded, curvy roads and neighborhoods, so it's going to be kind of hard to keep him in sight here. But I don't know what options he has about getting out, because this is kind of leading northbound to the lake.
Okay, so this is kind of leading northbound to the lake. I'm maybe told the Harbor Drive area is what we're seeing, heavily wooded near the lake shore. It is now off of Highway 412. This pursuit has taken us westbound on Highway 412, the wrong direction on westbound Highway 412, and now we're off into the city streets. Right on top of it, you can see that 360 cam just being able to follow this to perfection as police, Sand Springs Police were involved, OHP were involved. We know those two agencies at least. We don't know much about this person who is driving, why this pursuit began. We don't know exactly how many people are in the vehicle. I couldn't tell, but we do know an officer, when the vehicle rammed the officer's patrol car, or rammed it looked like the trooper's cruiser. An officer did get out of their vehicle with guns drawn. It looked like there was a shot fired, smoke from the gun.
Bail right here.
And now maybe looking to bail, getting off into a side road, driveway, somebody's yard. Doors are open. Let's see. We're hanging with you here.
They don't have anywhere to go. They're right up against the lake, so they're going to be in this wooded area here, just up against the lake.
Are these one of these places where it has bluffs where you could drop off into it, or is it kind of more of a gradual? Can you tell?
No, there's a boat ramp, but it's not very accessible. It looks like a private dock actually. So no, they're up against kind of a cliffy area, heavily wooded with a lot of rocks. So they're going to have some places to hunker down, but they don't have a whole lot of room to go.
Is there a police helicopter up there, Dustin, can you tell, or any police boats?
No, there's not, Dave. It's just me up here right now.
Okay. And so we haven't seen any police officers or troopers be able to follow this person back because, again, they were going the wrong way on westbound Highway 412, got back onto the right way on some sort of frontage road or access road, and then took a right turn and a right turn and then got back into this neighborhood. Maybe we were seen off of Harbor Drive or somewhere in that area of Grand Lake, obviously, or Grand Lake, Keystone. This is a large lake, and that is the rough area that we're talking about. So we saw them go off into this wooded area. We saw multiple doors open in the vehicle, and then we have lost them in the brush, of course. It's heavily wooded. We do have video as we're kind of keeping an eye on this. Of course, Dustin is going to stay up there. We have this video of this vehicle maneuver that law enforcement did to try to stop this pursuit vehicle, and we can go ahead and roll that. There it is. Vehicle spinning out 1, 2, 3 times. The trooper spins out, and then watch this moment. That's a Sand Springs police officer with the white and black, ramming into multiple officers, and here's where the gun is fired, we believe, right here. Watch the officer. Yeah, there was some sort of gunshot, some sort of smoke coming out of that. So we did see at least one shot fired, we believe, and now this is video from earlier, because at this point they've gone off into the woods. So this is video from earlier. You could see going the wrong way, eastbound in the westbound lanes on Highway 412 in the middle of a weekday, 10:40 in the morning. This is the last that we were able to see, Dustin, of these people going into this wooded area with doors open. What are you seeing? Have you seen any signs of life back in this woods where they drove into?
No, Dave, we have not seen any movement down in the trees since we've made a couple orbits here. It's like you can see there that the bank is on the left. You can see there on the left the bank of the lake, and then to the right is a heavily wooded area, and then there's a few houses up in there. So there's going to be lots of places for them to kind of hunker down in there.
Dustin, do you have rough cross streets where we are here?
Yeah, Dave, I'm looking at north, let's see, 272nd West Avenue and Holiday Way.
272nd West Avenue and Holiday Way.
412.
Okay, right. 272nd West Avenue and Holiday Way. That's what you said, right, sir?
That's right. Or East Holiday Ridge.
Okay, East Holiday Way or East Holiday Ridge. Okay, so we did see one SUV, and now we're seeing, it looks like, some patrol vehicles, a patrol SUV, law enforcement of some type. Is that right, Dustin? It looks like law enforcement is here.
That looks like Sand Springs Police vehicle, I believe, Dave.
Okay. Well, that's the last that we know, is that this vehicle, this maroon Tahoe or Suburban, was going toward the banks of the lake. and disappeared into the wooded area. We could see, as the camera shot is kind of panning around, we could see them kind of go into that dead area of the yard, the more brown part of that yard, and then just end up kind of toward the lake.
Oh.
And of course, there's nowhere else to go. So we're looking around. Where could these people be? Law enforcement has shown up after this chase started maybe 10:15 this morning with Sand Springs Police. We have found the vehicle abandoned. We've now confirmed that they have found the vehicle abandoned. Of course, still looking for the person or people inside. It looked to me like there were multiple people when they kind of opened those doors. It looked like someone was in the back seat or something was in the back seat, and of course the driver. This is from earlier. Live is on your left, video from earlier on your right, clearly ramming that police vehicle, and then the puff of smoke. A shot appeared to be fired there. The vehicle, I'm understanding, has been found abandoned. This maroon SUV has been found abandoned. They're still looking for the people inside, as after going the wrong way and westbound Highway 412, they turned back eastbound, got onto an access road, got back into the woods, started driving toward the banks of Lake Keystone, and then just kind of disappeared. So at this point, Dustin, kind of tell us the scene here, what we're looking at, 272nd West Avenue in Holiday Ridge. Dustin, we've understand the vehicle's been recovered. Have you been able to spot the vehicle? Did I miss it?
Matt was able to see it a few minutes ago. I was in a turn, so I didn't actually see it myself, but it's buried in the trees there somewhere, and we can only see it from certain positions. So it's one of those situations where there's so much happening, and you just have to find the openings in the woods to try and get an idea of who's where and what they're actually doing down there, Dave.
And that's interesting that you say that. Photographer Matt Ron, he was the one who has spotted the vehicle. He was able to see that vehicle through the trees, so we're going to keep our eyes peeled as well. Of course, the banks of Lake Keystone on the left, residential area near Holiday Ridge or Holiday Way and 272nd West Avenue on your right, and then the woods in the middle is where law enforcement officers are going to be looking for this person or these people who led them on. I think we can just be subjective here. I mean, a dangerous chase, an obviously dangerous chase, going at some points by our measurements 90 miles an hour, and at some points the wrong way down Highway 412. But of course, this is where it's come to an end for now, far from over, obviously, because they are still looking for the people involved in this chase. So kind of taking you from the beginning here, from what we could tell, this started on 412. This started in Sand Springs